Hello again, all you friendly internet faces. Matt with Eddie's Guitars coming to you as always from St. Louis, Missouri. And I couldn't be much more thrilled about the guitar I've got to share with you folks today. This one's been quite some time coming. It's actually been kind of a personal project from one of my all-time favorite builders, Dana Bourgeois. And this guitar features some kind of new designs and new specifications that can pretty much guarantee you've never seen in a Bourgeois guitar, and there's a chance you may have never seen some of these features in any other acoustic guitar before, so I'm excited to get into it. This is the most recent Bourgeois Luthier's Choice guitar. This is the Luthier's Choice OMSC, and this has a number of really cool tricks up its sleeve, and again, very unique specifications. This again is an OMSC, so it's a 12th fret guitar. You can see the body meets the neck here right at the 12th fret, but it does have that cutaway designation, so you kind of have the body and the depth and kind of that bigger sound of the 12th fret guitar, but you don't sacrifice the comfortable access beyond the 12th fret there due to that cutaway, so great design. This is a 25.5 inch scale length guitar, so that's a full scale length, and really gives great dynamic, good volume, and just a nice open quality to the sound of this guitar. Really nice. So see, the top that we started with here is an absolutely gorgeous Italian spruce top. Just beautiful soundboard material here. Very blonde color. You can see just the beautiful tight grain all the way throughout, and some nice kind of silking or medullary rays there throughout the entire soundboard as well. Beautiful soundboard. The body, the neck, and the headstock are all bound in a beautiful dark Zero-Cody binding. You probably saw this already, but you can see this beautiful Zero-Cody forearm bevel here, which of course is a new feature that Dana is kind of experimenting with. I love the design, not only the look of this, because that Zero-Cody is certainly beautiful there on that forearm, but just the design and the shape and the size of this forearm bevel as well. It really falls in the perfect area to get your arm and your hand in comfortable playing position, and it's not too big either direction. And a lot of times you see these forearm bevels that are awfully large, and that really kind of cuts into the soundboard quite a bit and kind of shrinks the size of the guitar without you realizing it. But this is a rather petite bevel. I think it's a nice design and very aesthetically pleasing as well. You can also see another new treatment here, the really incredible looking sound port here in the upper bout of the guitar here on the side. I've seen some pretty cool treatment before on sound ports before in terms of binding and purfling and kind of making them kind of match the rest of the guitar's binding and everything, but I don't think I've ever seen a bezel around the sound port here the way Dana's done this. That's a Zero-Cody bezel. Really nicely done, and you can see it just really matches the rest of the binding on the guitar beautifully. So really nice kind of wood detail there. Give the sound port a bit of a dimension outside of just binding it. So kind of a nice detail. Back and sides of this guitar, an absolutely gorgeous set of quarter sawn Brazilian rosewood. You can see the beautiful dark color accompanied by some beautiful lighter kind of iridescent streaks going throughout that back and right down the center there. Beautiful stuff. I absolutely adore this back strip. You can see that's a Zero-Cody back strip that's been mitered into the binding on the top and the bottom there. And it's purfled in black and maple as well. It's just a super clean and I think very modern kind of touch compared to some of the other back strips that Bourgeois currently offers. The normal headstock shape that would be on an OMSC would be a very squared off headstock. In fact, most of the time you would see an OMSC with a slotted headstock. You can see this one is not a slotted headstock, and it also has that contour shape up at the top of the headstock rather than being very squared off. Again, I think that's kind of a nice kind of contemporary flair to this guitar. And take a look at this just unfreaking believable veneer. That's a book matched Zero-Cody headstock veneer. Of course, the beautiful sapwood going down the center. I just love the way that they got that so symmetrical there. Of course, the Bourgeois logo all the way up top. Of course, those are gold Waverly tuning machines with the ebony buttons, very cleanly tying in with some of the other ebony parts on the guitar. The fingerboard inlay is pretty incredible as well. They're calling this the cat's cradle fingerboard inlay, and despite how intricate it looks, it's actually just 4 lines that kind of intersect throughout the fingerboard there in a really interesting way. It's a really cool design. We'll go down to the rosette here as well, which is incredibly interesting. You can see it's more asymmetrical in the fact that it gets a little wider as it works its way towards the bridge, but it has those same similar intersecting lines there. Very, very cleanly done, and you can see the sound hole edge itself is bound in Zeracody as well, just perfectly coordinating everything together. The purfling on the top of the guitar itself is basically the soloist, the Bourgeois soloist purfling. So it's got the really thin strips of black and white with a nice strip of maple right in the center there of the purfling. Nice detail, but very clean. The bridge here is unbelievable as well. You can see it's kind of a modified belly shape. It's been kind of tapered in on the wings a little bit. It's the bridge itself is ebony, but of course those blocks are inlaid. They're Zeracody. That's mother of pearl going around the blocks of Zeracody, and of course the beautiful antique walrus ivory bridge pins. I'm going to show you a picture of all the way down at the heel cap. I just want to show you this heel cap just perfectly matches that headstock treatment with the book match sapwood. And the way it's boxed in there and purfled and everything, just an amazing detail. Again, perfectly coordinating this guitar all together with itself. Under the hood, we've got a number of tricks there. I'm not done yet, folks. I'm not done. This is a fully scalloped X-brace top. Of course, hand-tuned by Dana. These braces are the age-tone Adirondack spruce braces. They've all been attached with animal protein glue, so we're talking best-case scenario in terms of potential for like maximum resonance out of this guitar from right now to far in the future. This thing's really going to open up to be a monster, and it sounds incredible now. The back braces on this guitar, the back braces aren't something we talk about quite as often, but we're going to cover it here for sure. The back braces, typically the back braces would be a very parallel kind of straight brace going across the back there. This has a double X brace back. So there's an X brace here on the back as well as like right here. And Dana's theory behind that is he has always built his backs to have some liveliness to them. There are some guitar manufacturers out there that purposely build with a very rigid back, so you get a tremendous amount of punch and projection out of the front end. Now Dana has built his backs to have some movement to them, to act as like a second voice contributor along with the top, so you get some more contribution from the back and side tone wood. That sometimes can sacrifice a little bit of front end projection. So it's a fine line these builders walk from volume to getting a thick, rich, mature tone. So Dana's been experimenting with this double X back brace for some time now and feels it's a rather efficient way of achieving both a rather stiff back that projects well, and it does, but a flexible back to where you can really hear this is a Brazilian Rosewood guitar, and you can hear that Brazilian coming through in the voice. I think he's really onto something with this, and again, I hope to see a lot more of this in the future, perhaps even going into different body styles, so we'll see where that leads, but very cool design on the double X back braces of this guitar. We will gladly take a listen to this beauty now.